Beans and yam porridge, aka awana G. Hi guys, join me. Let's cook this delicious beans and yam porridge together. Put an empty pot on fire and add your hot water into an empty pot. Introduce your raw beans into the pot. Cover to parboil for some minutes. Take that off heat and wash. Put it back on fire and add your water. Make sure you add hot water when you put it back on fire, so that it will enable it to cook fast. I added plenty of water in making my beans, and that is how I like making my beans. Water must be enough. So at this point, it's halfway done. It's done, but I like my beans to be very soft, so I'm going to add in more water and still cover to cook. Sis, after watching this video, I bet you should cook your beans to perfection after watching this video, because this is a well-detailed video. So I added in more water and cover again to cook. Now the water is dried up, and this is now time for me to start putting all the necessary things I need. I had to check my beans, and everything is going on very well. So the next thing I did is to add in more water. I added the first water, second water, and this is the water that I'm going to use to finish the whole cooking, because at this point the beans is very soft. When I mean very soft, it's very soft. I know you'll be shouting that the water is too much. The water is not too much. We are cooking beans here. If you want to cook your beans to perfection, you have to make sure that your beans is very, very soft. It's very, very soft. That is how I like cooking my beans. So please, this is how beans supposed to be cooked. So I cover that, and alongside as I cutting my yam, I'm not going to allow the water to dry up, because this is the last water that I supposed to put before adding my yam. So I peel the yam. In cutting my yam, I like to cut my yam in small pieces, so that when you put it in your mouth, the thing will just enter wham. Not the one that you have to cut yam, eat. No, I need, when I put my beans, my yam in my mouth, it will just enter with the beans. So at this point, this beans is done to perfection. Do you see how it is? So now I introduce my yam into the beans, aka G, into the beans, and I make sure that I dip that into the beans, and I added in my seasoning cube. Go in with some salt, some crayfish, and some pepper. I like to see my pepper in the beans. I don't want, I won't see the sign of pepper. I like seeing sign of pepper in beans. So you cover that to cook. Now is almost done. So I set that aside and put an empty pan on fire. Introduce my oil, my red oil, into the empty pot, and I added in my onions. Give that a quick mix and allow that to fry a bit, not too much, a bit. This is how to cook awana beans, agwa naji, aka beans and yam. So I set that aside and put back the beans on fire and added in the oil. So now you start mixing. Make sure you mix properly. As I'm mixing, guys, you need to taste these beans. If you've watched this video up to this extent, tell me the reason you're not going to click that subscribing button. Please subscribe and like my video. Don't forget to subscribe and like my video. Do you see how delicious this beans is looking? Guys, if you want to cook your beans this way. You are not going to regret it. Even your beans and plantain, you can cook it this way. Your normal beans porridge, you can cook it this way. That is how to make beans and plantain. And hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to leave your comment below. Okay, if you find anything difficult, don't hesitate to come back to me. Just cover to simmer. And right now, our beans is ready. Awanaji, aka yam and beans. Thank you for watching. Bye.